Today's video, I'm going to show you how to kick off your fall lawn renovation or your fall overseed. But you want to make sure you use this method first. So stay tuned and let's go to the table and I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing right now. This is step number one in how to start off a good lawn renovation. Today is August 24th, Sunday, August 24th. Now I always start my lawn renovations for one early because it gives me a little leadway. Some people start their renovations the second week of September, maybe the earliest is the first week of September. I like to do it 1 to 2 weeks before the end of August because it gives me a little leeway, a little ground, just in case by the second week of September, I expect to already have grass seed already germinating, and then I can go out and look in the lawn and see some spots that I actually didn't take pretty good, and I can go ahead and correct them, and now I'm still on schedule. Because here in the Northeast Connecticut, October is a tricky month. So you don't want to wait too long in the middle of September to actually seed, because depending on the grass seed you use, you're going to need at least 21 to 28 days for it to germinate. Now that pushes me into October, and like I said, October is tricky here. Sometimes you could get a good October where you get a good fall and it's still kind of cool, but you know, that perfect weather for seeds and grass to actually germinate. Or you can go ahead and start getting a little bit of snow early and it'll ruin everything. So right now I start my lawn renovation at the end of August, just for those purposes. And like I said, it gave me a little time to correct things. So now I have a perfect lawn renovation. So these are the two options here. Last year I used the Spectricide weed and grass killer to actually eliminate weeds. I'll link that video if you guys want to see that one. Today I'm going to be using the Roundup. They're both the same products, just different companies, and they use a different active ingredient. Roundup is using glyphosate. Spectricide uses like dicamba and some other actual ingredients. They both do the same thing. The Roundup right now is stronger. It's a 50% compared to like 2 or 3% on the Spectricide. Now, both of these parts right here, you're gonna have to use a hand can to actually go ahead and mix it in. That's why I got everything out here, because I'm gonna mix in my own solution. Now, if you don't feel comfortable mixing your own solution, you can use this Spectricide weed and grass killer is already pre-mixed. You can buy that, shake it up, start spraying immediately. Don't worry about it. But like I said, this will kill everything it touches. So keep it away from plants, flowers, anything. But any unwanted grass, unwanted weeds, anything you don't want, you can spray this on it. It will kill it off in about 2 to 3 days, with a total kill coming in a complete 7 days. So, but the best thing about using these two products here to kill off weeds, you can go ahead and seed 3 days after spraying this product. So you don't even have to wait a full 7 days to throw your grass seed down. You can spray this today, like I said, it's Sunday, and start seeding by Wednesday, Thursday, and it'll be perfectly fine. It would not ruin your grass seed. But when you go ahead and you want to start a lawn renovation, these are your options. Whether you want to start from scratch, like I said, this will eliminate everything. So if you want a bare canvas, like I started this lawn from scratch back here a few years ago, I used the Roundup, sprayed the whole thing out. I had a bare, just nothing but dirt back here, and then I tilled everything, planted my seeds, and the rest was history. Today, I am just gonna spot spray some of those weeds, just to get those pesky POA weeds out the lawn. I definitely sprayed another product a few weeks ago that actually killed off POA, but it takes a little longer to kill it off. It takes about at least 2 to 4 weeks. I showed you guys that video. I wish I would have went ahead and sprayed that whole lawn at that time about 3 weeks ago with that product. Then I wouldn't have to use this product today. But I was unsure of that product and how it worked, so I didn't want to kill off my whole lawn, you know, just trying to kill off a few weeds. But now that I know it works, in the future I will use that product. But I don't plan to have any POA in my lawn going forward, because now I'm going to kill it off today, reseed, and then, well, this is how you prep your lawn. You kill off weeds first, get it prepared for either aeration or dethatching. So I'm gonna eliminate these weeds today. So this is, like I said, you're gonna mix up a little bit of this product. Now, if you're mixing your own product here, you have a 1 gallon container like me, you're gonna make sure you fill it up with water first. Just 1 gallon of water or a half gallon of water, depending on which hand can you have. Now, this product here, like I said, is a high concentrated one, so it will knock out all them pesky weeds right away. And this stuff lasts a long time. Just make sure you always shake up your products first. Always like to put on my gloves, wear some long sleeves also, and wear mask and eyewear just in case if you get a little back spray if it's a windy day. Now today, not too windy, so it's fine. But for this product right here, you're gonna use 2.5 fluid ounces per 1 gallon of water. This top right here that comes on it is the measuring top also. So you don't need much. 2.5 per 1 gallon. This is a 1 gallon container. So that's all I need. That's 2.5 of the fluid there. Pour it right in. No mess. Now, this right here is a surfactant. This is gonna help this product actually stick on the weeds and get a better kill. You always wanna use a surfactant every time you do a weed killer, a fungicide, a liquid fungicide treatment, anything of that nature. You can even use it on your liquid fertilizers also. So, surfactant. Now, per gallon of water, all you need is maybe 1-2 teaspoons. I'm not gonna measure, but I test it. This is cheap surfactant, Dawn dishwashing liquid or something comparable, the original with non-antibacterial. That's what you want to make sure is non-antibacterial, because you don't want to use that one in your lawn. It will harm the grass, so you don't want to use that. This little bit of blue dye here, this is going to let me know where I spray. So you don't have no overspray, you're not wasting product, and you're not spraying parts of the lawn that you do not want to spray. So this is going to show where I sprayed at, so now I don't have to worry about it and double back or question myself if I sprayed in that area. Wear gloves with this product also, because it will stain your hands and it take a couple washes before it actually gets off your hands. The more you use, the darker it gets, so you don't really need much. You'll just be wasting product. Now we're gonna go ahead, fill up our gallon hand can here with the rest of the water. And as you can see here, it's dark blue. Only use maybe a teaspoon, 1 or 2 teaspoons of the dye also. And you can see your formula mixing in perfectly fine. All I need is a gallon, because I don't need much back here. I don't have a lot of weeds because, like I said, I handled some of them POA spots a few weeks ago. So this is whatever's left. I'm gonna knock them out. But you can start your lawn renovations. This is how you will start it, with this type of product, a weed and grass killer. Now that you got your product inside your hand can, make sure you put the top on tight so you don't spill anything or make a mess, and shake your product up, make sure it's blended in properly. Now that we did that simple process here, now we're ready to go on the lawn and spray some of these weeds. All right, we're at the first part of the lawn right here with some POA. So now I'm just gonna go ahead, mix up and pump up my sprayer here. Now remember, this will kill everything, so try to limit your good grass being sprayed if you don't want to eliminate too much of it. But we're overseeding anyway, so it shouldn't matter as much. But like I said, just make sure you limit where you're spraying at to minimize damage. Now I'm gonna just hit these spots right away to get these POA spots out of here. It's nothing worse than having POA in your lawn. It's an eyesore because it doesn't die off. Like, some POA will die off in the summer heat, but then it leaves that brown tint on the lawn, and we don't want that. We want a nice green, full, dark green lawn. So it starts right now. We're gonna handle these POA spots. Another part of POA here, and as you can see how that market blue stuff or that blue dye is working, it lets me know where I sprayed at. Try to minimize damage. Now these POA spots were already kind of dying off because I did spray these spots with that Bio Advanced product. but I'm just gonna hit them extra just to speed up the killing process. Now, if you have some other weedy areas or some other grass that does not blend well with your grass that you're trying to plant, you can spray that grass also and eliminate it. I like a uniform look, so I use the same grass seeds every year. That's a major key into having a nice lawn. You want a uniform look. You want the yard to look like one. So any grass that does not blend well, also use this weed and grass killer to kill it off.